That better not go in the video. My name is Casey Pennington, PDJ number 74708. I'm sponsored by Discmania and Lucky Ace Discs. And there's so many reasons I love disc golf. I can't pick one. There's too many. I like that you can always, there's always an opportunity to improve and do better. So no matter how long you play, you're always gonna have that opportunity. I kind of keep everything in my bag at all times just to be prepared, even if it's gonna be good weather, just to be safe. You play one tournament round in the rain and you're not prepared and you learn that lesson real quick. So this entire pocket is towels and these are just paper napkins. This is one of the best tips I got from Tina Oakley actually at a clinic a few years ago. These work super well for drying off your discs when they're wet. So I always keep a stack in there and then a bunch of extra towels. In here I got my minis. Got a Tree Love mini and a Pandemonium mini. All my tags, some Kleenex, hand warmers. You don't really need those down in Texas too much, but just in case. And then over on this side, I've got my whale sack tied on here because if I didn't, I would lose it. And then some of my old backup whale sacks in this little pocket. And then in here's just kind of whatever I need for that particular day. I got my Lucky Ace pullover. This thing is so comfortable. This is a scorecard and my rules guide, some pencils. Yeah, you'll notice everything's in plastic bags just in case it rains. My neck gaiter from Women's Nationals. Be nice when I don't have to carry that anymore. Ibuprofen, because, some old sunscreen, I should probably throw that away. Some Noon tablets. These I use all the time in the summer. They're just good for rehydration. And then my hand sanitizer. And then water bottle. This time of year I can get away with one water bottle, but in the summer in Texas, you need two. So that's very important. Got my knee pad that my friend Liz up in Wisconsin made for me. That's awesome. My purse, which kind of has all the other random essentials, and my sunglasses. So that's all the extraneous stuff. My dad's favorite joke that he loves to tell is, "What's brown and sticky?" A stick. It's so bad, but he laughs every time and I love it. And everybody knows what you throw if you're a crush boy, but if you're me, it looks a little different. Not to say I can't throw far and throw hard, but yeah, probably different disc than you're typically used to seeing from a Discmania sponsored player. Up here in my putter pocket, I putt with Sensei's, the baseline plastic. I just they're so low profile and neutral, and they just they'll go straight and glide at the basket from a long ways. So these are my putting ones, and then this is an old putting one that I kind of use more now for approach shots, and if I need a touchy get out of jail shot, either forehand or backhand anhyzer, it'll hold the line really well at a slow speed. And then I also keep my tactic in here. I don't throw this as much, but I use it for forehand approaches, or if it's really windy, a Sensei is very understable, so it'll flip over easily, but this will definitely hold up against any wind. And then my last putter, I just put this in my bag recently. It's a Exo Soft Link. I gained a lot of distance this past year, and I've got to the point where I need a throwing putter now. Before I was able to throw mid ranges usually, but so this is my off the tee putter, and I'm really a fan of these tackier plastics, especially for approach and stuff. And I know in any weather condition, I'd be able to grip these and release them when I want to. So yeah, that's the putter lineup. I have really fallen in love with throwing mid ranges this past year. Now that I can throw them farther. So I don't have that many, but I do reach for them a lot. This is an MD5. It's very, very overstable. It's more of a utility disc for me for the most part, but I'll use it for forehand approaches, and sometimes a backhand if I really need to get that hook at the end. Exo Hard Method. I had a method in the bag for a while. I lost my Neo method, and I had this one, so I put it in. This is a little more neutral than the Neo, but I wasn't really throwing it that much until last weekend. I played in a super windy tournament, and I usually like to throw the Origin, which I'll get to more in a second, but it was just way too windy for the Origin, so I ended up reaching for this, and like this in the wind was just money. It just went straight, but it didn't ever like break over or anything. So really liking this disc. And then yeah, my Origins, got my Lucky Ace Origin and then a double stamp one. This disc came out this past year, and like I wasn't really even looking for a new mid-range to throw. I thought it was pretty set with my lineup, and then I got one of these to try, and I just like loved it immediately. It's like the glidiest mid-range I've ever thrown in my life. It just goes so far, and they're really fun to throw. They get a nice turnover S, but then they'll come back at the end, or if you need that turnover mid-range shot to finish to the right, and you put it on a little anhyzer, it'll do that too. So anytime I can throw this disc, I will throw this disc for sure. Oh, like that. Okay. Hey. And then next, the fairway drivers. So you might notice like with all my discs, I kind of order them in my bag from overstable to understable, left to right. So overstable, I have this Doombird 2 that Simon actually gave me. He came to, when I was still living in Wisconsin, he came to an indoor disc golf experience event in Milwaukee, which was super fun. And I'd just been signed with Discmania right before that. And he was nice enough to give me that for free. And it's been in my bag ever since. I use it for forehands mostly, when I just need that really hard finishing shot to the right. Doesn't get the most use in my bag, but it's definitely like a needed disc for certain situations. And then next is an S-Line PD. It's 159 grams. So whenever I can find lighter weight discs, I like to throw lighter weight discs. So this one, it'll finish. So again, like I prefer to, in general, throw more like neutral discs if I can, but there obviously are days and situations where that's not gonna cut it based on the weather conditions. So this is just a really solid disc that'll hold the line and finish. So I've got a Royal Rage FD2, 165 grams. This one I got a while ago, but just put it in the bag recently. Starting to like it for a fairway driver shot where you need to get a good bit of distance, and it might even turn a tiny bit, but still have that really reliable finish at the end. And the lightweight definitely gives it some extra distance for me. This might be my most prized disc in my bag. This is a First Run Night Strike that I've broken into perfection. So like this is my disc when I need to hit a tunnel. It's perfectly straight. And I've tried to get other First Run Night Strikes into this condition, and I just haven't been able to do it. So hopefully I never ever lose this disc, because it's very, very important to my game. And then finally I have a D-Line FD, and this is my roller disc. Yeah, like it's gotten to the point where it's like too flippy to even throw like a hyzer flip up backhand. But yeah, I've started working on my roller game a little bit more, and just like last fall was the first time I actually tried to throw one in a tournament. Actually, I switched. I was using a D-Line TD for rollers, and I've gotten to the point where that's even too understable. So now I've dissed up a little bit to the FD. But at Women's Nationals at Winthrop this year, I threw it on at the mozzarella stick hole. Yeah, I threw it for my second shot over that hillside, and it rolled right up to the basket. Okay, so that's the fairway drivers. And what everybody's been waiting for, the drivers, or the distance drivers. D3 is my go-to distance driver, and you can get so much variation in these depending on what plastic it is. So this is an S-Line, and this is even a lighter weight one, a 167, but it's pretty new to my bag, and it's very stable. So I can just rip it out. I might get a little bit of a turn, especially if I put it on some angle. It'll go over, but it'll definitely come back. But I'm hoping it'll break in a little more and become a little bit more neutral than it is right now. Because I used to have a proto cloud breaker in the bag, which I use for like very windy conditions. And this is kind of similar to that right now for me, but I'm hoping to kind of get this a little more understable, and then the cloud breaker will come back in the bag for me. And then these are my babies, Echo DD3s. This Echo plastic is just so money. I'll throw them out on a little bit of hyzer now and they'll flip up, get a little bit of flight out of them, and then they'll finish. I have to start being careful with these because they will flip over if I'm not careful with the angles, or it's a little bit of a headwind, but these are my go-to drivers for distance. I guess technically these are fairway drivers, but they go so far that I put them in the distance driver category. Like, this is the glidiest fairway driver you will ever see. I was very excited when these first came out. They kind of fit that like understable distance driver for me. And I've also started trying these out for like flip up forehands to try and get them to flip up and get a little bit longer flight out of them. So this is a great disc. I found this Blizzard DD2 that's, I think it's in the 150s at a shop not too long ago, and I'd never thrown a DD2 before, but just anytime I find a lightweight disc from Discmania, I pick it up. So this right now is kind of like the in-between between the S-Line and the Echo DD3 for me. So it's, you know, stable enough that I know it's not going to flip over on me, but it's still relatively neutral flight path. So this is fun. I don't know if I want to get too attached to it since I only have the one, and in case I ever lose it, but I've been enjoying it. And you'll notice I don't really have too many like duplicates of the same disc, other than like my putters. I guess I have 2 Origins and 2 Echo DD3s and 2 Essences, but other than that, everything's kind of different. And I think I just like having like this kind of sliding scale of discs that all kind of overlap each other, so that if I lose one, like I can get away with the ones on either side of it. That's like way more than I'm used to talking. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for me on the tour this year and playing a few of the big events throughout the year. Come say hi if you ever see me, and don't forget to throw up.
You talk so much. I'm
so much talking. Yeah, apparently I need to get a catchphrase, huh? Shoot. I feel like I don't have a catchphrase, I have like a side eye. I threw it out and it was standing up and it was perfectly going to the basket, and I was so excited. And then out of nowhere, this random dog just comes running across the fairway and it runs right into him and sits down. I was so mad. No animals were harmed, it wasn't going that fast, but I was very bummed out about that.